What's up, y'all? Frank Bank in the building with another one. Last night, man, Sixers started off super slow. Got down by a lot in the first quarter, which is something I ain't see all season. All season, the Sixers usually get off to a good start and give up leads. Or they get off to an okay start and they just have a bad third quarter or whatever after halftime. That's been like the story of the season. But like this year, it was actually different. I mean, this game was actually different. They actually got off to a bad start, and then the second quarter they came back. Then the third quarter they had an okay quarter. The fourth quarter they just collapsed. The Sixers was an undefeated road team before this, so that's the crazy part. But I guess like a lot of people are saying that the Sixers was not playing any good teams, even though we beat Orlando. But they feel like Orlando got off to a bad start, so they feel as though we only beat the lower teams. Overall, we 5-3, which is not a horrible record compared to how we started 2-12 last year. But a lot of people still gonna question things because, you know, once we started 4-0, people were thinking we were like a championship contender. And now that we lost 3 out of 4, it's gonna look spooky as far as like predictions and things. But we play Detroit coming up twice, and we play a middle game with, I believe, Toronto. So this next 3 games is gonna show a lot about this team too, because if like every season has its ups and downs, so you can't expect any team to win out. Like, it's gonna be, hopefully, if this season goes as planned, there's gonna be a time where the Sixers get a winning streak together, and I hope it's not just this 4-game winning streak is the longest winning streak of the season. Like, it's gonna be ups and downs in the season. Hopefully we don't end, it's about where you end, and hopefully we don't end at 500. Hopefully we kind of like separate ourselves from that. But being as though Embiid not playing back-to-backs, he's on a minute restriction, Paul George haven't played yet, we also got to think about how much is sitting on the bench right now. Jared McCain didn't play the second of a back-to-back. So we actually ain't fully healthy. And teams are going to start strategizing against us more. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just playing fast, sometimes that's going to work better for some teams. Yesterday, Justin Edwards had an okay game, which is good. Bona didn't really have a great game. I don't know. It's like, we can't just depend on Tyrese Maxey and Quentin Grimes every game. We got to have our whole, like, 3 of our top players are out. Trendon Watford, that's a positive from this game. He had a pretty good, he's starting to come along and show that he'll be a weapon on this team. But hey, that's all I could really say is that we got 3 games coming, the next 3 games. Hopefully we put something together to win some games. But we started the first 8 5-3, so that's about middle ground. Like, that would be like if you said in the beginning of the season, Sixers gonna start 5-3 in the first 8 games, people will take that. It ain't like exactly what we wanted, but they'll take that over starting 1-7. You get what I'm saying? Or 2-6 or something. We could be that. So, or we could be 3-5, and that would be even something that probably the fans will take, because they just know that maybe, you get what I'm saying, maybe we'll be better in the next couple games to catch up to make our record at least 500. So the over-under for the season was like 42 wins, 43 wins. So I guess like Vegas is looking right so far. That's about what we on pace for, and maybe a little better, but hopefully the Sixers could prove all the odds wrong, could defy the odds. and show that we're a better team than all that. But yeah, it's not too much to say. Donovan Mitchell had like 46 last night too. So, and they started off, him and Evan Mobley started off the game crazy. So that was two weapons we had to fight off too. Against one of the best teams in the East. Oh, we went 0-2 in a road trip against two. Well, I don't know if Chicago. I'm really not convinced that Chicago is a top team in the East yet. But the way they playing, you never know. They keep on winning. They find ways to win, and they got a young team that's not really proven. But young talent proves itself every year, so you can't really say that. So maybe Chicago could be one of the top teams in the East. But I know Cleveland is projected to be one of the top teams in the East. So we actually were up 24 against Chicago. So that was the crazy part. So that's what really made me think sometimes that Chicago ain't really like that. But Cleveland actually put their foot on the gas on us. We were just coming back the whole game. We actually tied the game in the third quarter. But we ended up losing. Fourth quarter had a bad fourth quarter. But I guess this is going to be part of the season. We had an up, and then we got too happy, and then right now they brought us back down the ground. The NBA season does that to you. And maybe it'll humble the Sixers enough to work harder every game. So, a loss, the Sixers stand at 5-3. They're no longer the number one seed in the East, but it's still early in the season. Like, we got 82 games. We only 8 games into the season. We're only 10% into the season. We got to really look back at this when we're like at least 30 games into, at least like a third of the season through. I'll say like 20, 25, 26 games is like where we've got to look at like, okay, maybe this is where all these teams are going to stand. Hopefully we get this win against Detroit. Detroit is like a middle of the pack team too. And they kind of started, I think, like 6-2 or something like that too. So hopefully we could start getting wins against these teams. And hopefully we don't lose to bad teams either, because at least if we win against bad teams, we just got to sharpen up against good teams. But when we play bad teams, we should be able to, like, you know what I'm saying, have big leads and win by, like we did against Brooklyn. If I see that, I'll be happy. Detroit maybe is a coin toss, as long as we competitively play against them, which we did in these 2 games. Even though Cleveland kind of separated in the fourth quarter yesterday, we were tied up in the third quarter. So it's not like I don't feel like they blew us out. They needed the best points out of their best players, and we don't have some of our best players. We got one of our best players, which is Maxey, but we don't have George or Embiid to play against the top teams that have all their players there. So hopefully these next games go good and we start, you know, climbing up the rankings again. Don't get too behind like we did last year and start. It's better, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the people that really don't have no hope, at least we started way better than last year. We were at 2-12, and we were saying, where's that winning streak that's going to get us back to 500 and get us going? We 5-3. That's a good base. It ain't perfect, but we could play off of this. Like, we could play off of these couple losses. We on a 2-game losing streak. We could play off these couple losses and figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, we not. Yeah, we on a 2-game losing streak. We went to 5-1 against Brooklyn. Yeah, we could play off these couple losses and learn some lessons, watch some film, and get better. And get our players back too. Because Paul George should be coming back in early November, they said. And Jared McCain should be playing more the next games. And Embiid should be playing the next game. Even though the next is a back-to-back, he's only going to play one of them. But hopefully by the middle of the season, he starts playing in some back-to-backs. And we start seeing our whole team together and winning games. That's going to be a hard thing too, that we literally have to try to adjust our team to players coming back. Like, I can't wait till the whole team is all together and we actually start, you know, getting that chemistry. But like I said, I'll be here for the Detroit game. I believe it's Friday for the live play-by-play. Appreciate everybody that shows up to my lives, and hopefully more people start coming. Like, comment, and subscribe so I could get more people. And if you can, share so I could get more people to start getting onto these lives. I'm gonna be super consistent with these lives and these post games and these videos. Thanks for watching. Sixers at Detroit on Friday. Let's get a win when we get back. We get back on this court. Let's take these couple next days to start analyzing where we at and how we could get better. Appreciate you. To the next one. Go Sixers.